the one out here doing it.
Exactly. That's what I said.
And I knew I was right. Every time I feel that intuition of I'm right.
How do we not see that?
That's what I'm saying. What have I done to you for you to do
Because
me
it
like
sure
this?
isn't because you're not attractive. That damn bike out the way.
Do you need to move it?
Kirk's life has taken a dramatic turn, and it's all unfolding in front of the world. His $900 million divorce settlement is not just about numbers anymore, it's a full-on reality show, with every detail of his life being watched by millions. The life he used to live, full of luxury, fame, and endless parties, is now a thing of the past. The extravagant vacations, the glamorous events, and even the entourage of yes men are all gone. In their place is a much quieter existence, where he now finds himself in a modest apartment, surrounded by reminders of what used to be. Rumors are everywhere, with people talking about how his life has changed. Once known for dining at the finest restaurants, Kirk is now seen ordering takeout late at night. His wardrobe, once filled with expensive suits, now consists of casual sweatpants. The image of a former star, now reduced to shopping for discounted groceries, is both sad and oddly fascinating to watch. The public eats it up, but it's not just about the physical changes. The real drama is happening on an emotional level. In his quiet moments, Kirk is struggling. He's dealing with feelings of loss and betrayal. What does freedom really mean when it comes with such a high price? He's restless, trying to figure out who he is without all the fame and money. The glory of his past now feels like a distant memory, leaving him with nothing but the harsh reality of who he is now. The whispers of his former life are gone, leaving him to confront his new identity. And then there's the speculation. The tabloids are on fire with rumors about his love life. One day, he's seen with a sultry actress known for her fiery roles. The next day, he's linked to a stunning influencer with a massive social media following. Every time he steps out, the media is there to spin a new story. Kirk can't escape the spotlight. It's a double-edged sword. He wants the attention, but he hates the constant scrutiny. But what about the money? Yes, he's received a staggering divorce settlement, but it's not without its own problems. Financial freedom doesn't come easy. There are legal fees, ongoing battles over assets, and reminders of his former partner that he can't escape. Friends warn him about the dangers of sudden wealth, telling him that fortune often attracts people who are only interested in what they can get from him. Is he really free, or is he just a target in a different game? As Kirk tries to rebuild his life, he can't help but be haunted by the memories of the love he lost. He looks through old photos, remembering the good times, the laughter, and wonders if he'll ever find that connection again. The idea of dating again is both exciting and terrifying. What if the next woman he meets is only interested in his money? Will he ever be able to trust anyone again? Each date feels like a gamble, and the fear of being hurt again is always in the back of his mind. In the midst of it all, he tries to stay grounded. His friends are there to offer support and advice, but the pressure is immense. There's a constant feeling that everyone is waiting for him to fail, like a crowd at the scene of a car crash. One wrong move and he could become the punchline of a joke. He can feel the eyes of the world on him, and while it's thrilling, it's also suffocating. Every day, Kirk is forced to confront not just how the public sees him, but also the demons inside him. Rashida is facing her own emotional storm. She paces the living room, her heart racing as the weight of the rumors presses down on her. The news she heard just the day before was unbearable. Kirk, her husband, involved in an affair that hit closer to home than she ever could have imagined. The thought of it is almost too much for her to bear. Taking a deep breath, she tries to steady herself before confronting him. "Kirk," she begins, her voice shaking slightly, "I need the truth. I've been hearing things about you and my mom." Kirk's face goes pale, and for a moment, he looks genuinely confused. "What are you talking about?" he asks, but Rashida is having none of it. "Don't lie to me," she cuts him off, her anger rising. "You can't keep denying this, I have proof. How could you do this to me? How could you do this to us?" Kirk stammers, clearly unprepared for this confrontation. "It's not what you think," he says, but his voice falters. "Not what you think," Rashida responds, her disbelief growing. "You were supposed to be my partner, my confidant. How could you betray me like this?" The tension in the room is thick. Rashida stands there, arms crossed, her eyes locked on Kirk, waiting for him to explain himself. But the words seem to be stuck. He's looking around the room as if searching for an escape. "I made a mistake," he finally says, his tone shifting from defensive to almost pleading. "It didn't mean anything." "Didn't mean anything," Rashida exclaims, her voice rising. "How could you say that? How could it mean nothing? Do you really think that makes it better?" Rashida's voice was sharp, her words heavy with disbelief. "This isn't just some fling, Kirk. It's my mother. This isn't just a betrayal of our marriage, it's a betrayal of family. She was struggling to keep her emotions in check, though every word she spoke felt like it was tearing her apart. Kirk stepped forward, his face etched with desperation. "Rashida, please, I can fix this. We can fix this. Just give me a chance to explain." Rashida shook her head, her voice trembling not from fear but from the raw pain she felt deep inside. "Explain what? What's there to explain?" She turned away from him, unable to look him in the eye. "You chose her over me. You crossed a line that can never be uncrossed." The words hung in the air, the weight of them making everything feel suffocating. Tears threatened to spill, but Rashida refused to let him see her break. She was stronger than that. She had to be. Her mind raced as memories of the love they once shared flooded her thoughts. It was all tainted now, shattered by his actions. "Your actions have consequences, Kirk," she said firmly, her voice steady despite the storm inside her. "I deserve better than this. I deserve loyalty, respect, especially from my own husband." The words felt like a final blow. "You've shattered my trust in a way I didn't think was possible." Kirk's eyes filled with regret, but he struggled to find the right words, his voice thick with emotion. "I never wanted to hurt you. It just happened. I was weak and I didn't think. Rashida scoffed, her bitterness seeping through her words. "Didn't think? That's your excuse. You're a grown man, Kirk. You should have known better." She paused, shaking her head in disbelief. "This isn't just a mistake. It's a choice. You chose to betray me in the worst way possible." She turned away from him, needing space to breathe, needing to escape the chaos swirling in her heart. "I can't even look at you right now," she whispered, her voice breaking. "You crossed a line that can never be uncrossed." As she reached for the door, Kirk's hand shot out, gripping her wrist. "Rashida, please, don't walk away." "I love you," he pleaded, his words hanging in the air. But Rashida felt an avalanche of emotions crash down on her. "Love?" she repeated, incredulity in her voice. "What you did is the opposite of love. How can I ever trust you again?" Tears stung her eyes, but she pulled her arm free, her heart heavy with hurt but her resolve solidifying. "I need time to think. You've shattered everything we built together, and I don't know if I can ever look at you the same way again." She stepped out into the cold night, the air hitting her like a wave, grounding her amidst the turmoil inside her. She felt both lost and liberated at the same time, her heart weighed down by Kirk's betrayal. Behind her, Kirk stood alone, his mind a storm of regret and realization. He might have just lost the love of his life forever. Kirk, meanwhile, was left to pick up the pieces. "Nothing. Absolutely nothing," he said, shaking his head. "It was like she vanished with the money. I was left scrambling to figure out what happened." He paused, his face filled with frustration. "Now, I'm caught in a web of accusations. People are saying I'm hiding assets, but the reality is, I'm the one who's been wronged." Jessica, who had been listening quietly, softened her expression with empathy. "What steps are you taking to address these allegations and recover your assets?" Kirk's demeanor shifted to one of determination. "I've already initiated legal proceedings. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm committed to reclaiming what's mine. This isn't just about the money, it's about clearing my name and exposing the truth." Jessica leaned back, processing the weight of his words. With such a high-profile case, there's bound to be a lot of public scrutiny. How are you coping with the pressure and the impact on your reputation? Kirk sighed, his eyes reflecting a mixture of resolve and exhaustion. The public scrutiny is intense, and the stress is overwhelming. But I have to stay focused. I have to remind myself that this is about more than just my reputation. It's about justice and ensuring the truth comes to light. Jessica gave a nod of understanding. "And what message do you want to convey to your supporters during this tumultuous time?" Kirk's voice softened, but it was clear and resolute. "I'm deeply grateful for the support I've received. This situation is incredibly challenging, but I want everyone to know that I'm fighting for what's right. I won't let this scandal define me or overshadow the truth. I'm determined to see this through."